Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing awesome today. So we're going to take a look at these flights that are coming into or close to Alaska, the Russian flights that are coming close to Alaska. I don't want to say they're coming within their airspace because that's not actually true. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to look at what has happened in the past too. Okay, like, is this common? What are they doing? Is it more common now under Trump's administration, or has it been going on all along? Is my question, because I'm quite interested in this. And then we're going to ask the Lead Team Collective about 30 questions regarding this situation that really has to do between Putin, Russia, and obviously the United States. Okay, so what is really going on here is really what I'm interested in. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of overview. So I've got an overview, I've got some explanation because there's this group called NORAD. It's NORAD, actually, NORAD. That is the North American Aerospace Defense. Okay, so that's what actually responds to these Russian planes. Okay, we're going to look at some quick facts, some historical frequency, like how often has this been happening? I'm just kind of curious about that. I wanted to look at what possible games Putin could be playing with Trump. Okay, I was just curious. Okay, so we're going to look at that. And then, like I said, I've got about 30 yes and no questions for the guides. Now, just keep in mind, one, this is entertainment purposes only, obviously. And I may not be covering things from all angles. So that's not on purpose. I just, I can only do as much as I'm aware of. So if there are things you're aware of, just kindly put them in the comments, adding to the conversation and helping people learn about it. Okay, that would be amazing. And just a reminder, again, I said it was entertainment purposes only. It's based on public available facts and reliable sources. Claims, events, statements are alleged unless confirmed by official records. Okay. All right. So Russian spy planes, that's what they're called, have been flying close to Alaska again. NORAD, it's NORAD, okay, that's the acronym, scrambled jets 3 times in 1 week, August 20th, 2025, so just this week, 21st, and the 24th, so that was like 3 days from when I'm recording this. I think I'm going to put this out on Saturday, so it's probably like 5 or 6 days, okay? So that's really kind of interesting. So we have sent planes. They scrambled jets. I like how they say that, scrambled them. They scrambled jets 3 times this week. I wonder how much that costs to intercept and find out what the Russian spy planes were doing. Okay. Officials confirmed the Russian Il-20, so it's in Illinois, that's how it's pronounced, even though it's I-L. No, it's, yeah, IL-20, Il-20. Reconnaissance planes stayed in international airspace. So they were in international airspace. They weren't over the U.S. airspace. But the timing raises big questions. Why now? And what message could Putin be sending Trump and all of us through these flights? Okay, so what is NORAD? NORAD, like I said, was North American Aerospace Defense Command, a joint U.S.-Canada military command. So it's U.S. and Canada. Their mission is to protect the skies over North America by detecting and intercepting threats. I'm actually kind of glad that Canada's involved because, even if like the U.S. got, was like, yeah, we're not going to pay attention to that anymore because of whatever reason, Canada's not in that same, they're not playing those same games. So as, I'm speculating. So, okay, their headquarters, did you know this? That NORAD's headquarters is in Colorado Springs, Colorado. In plain English, NORAD is North America's Sky Guard. Okay. NORAD keeps watch 24/7 so ordinary people can live their lives without worrying about surprise intrusions from foreign aircraft or missiles. We should do something with the SGs about that Chinese craft that came. Remember that? Was that under Trump's last term? Or I don't think that was under Biden's term, but like whatever came of that. When you hear about jets scrambling near Alaska, that's NORAD doing its job to keep us safe. Okay, so what is the IL-20? The IL-20 Coot, C-O-O-T, is a Russian reconnaissance spy aircraft. Okay, spy aircraft. Built on the Il-18 passenger plane, designed but packed with radars, sensors, and antennas. Purpose is to listen in, track radar, and gather military intelligence. Not a bomber, not a fighter, just a flying surveillance station. In plain English, the Il-20 is Russia's flying spy ship. That's hard to say. Russia's flying spy ship. Okay? These planes don't drop bombs, but they collect information that could give Russia an edge in any conflict. Think of it like someone standing outside your house with high-tech binoculars. Legally, they're on the sidewalk, but they're still watching your every move. Okay, that's interesting. So legally, they're, I wonder if we do this to them. That would be the question. I'm sure we do. Okay, so the quick facts, they just basically reminding us of the dates, but there's a whole bunch of these numbers, like the F-16 went out and intercepted. I don't think we need to know all that. So, but all three of those last flights were in international airspace, not over Alaskan airspace. And I think that's part of what maybe the media or somebody wants us to feel like they were in Alaskan airspace and they were not. Okay. So NORAD says such flights are routine but 3 in 1 week is unusual. Okay. So there is something funny there. So let's look at the historical frequency real quick. So under George W. Bush, George W., very few Russian flights were near Alaska. Post-Cold War lull. Russia's Air Force underfunded, less active. Okay, so just underfunded, less active. We weren't even dealing with Russia at all back then. It was all Afghanistan, Afghanistan, Iraq. Okay, so under Barack Obama, noticeable increase in Russian flights. 2014 Ukraine crisis was more intercepts as Russia flexed military power. I don't even remember that. 2014 Ukraine crisis under Obama. NORAD reported multiple annual scrambles, sometimes 5 to 10 a year. So 5 to 10. There was 3 in this last week. Under Obama, it was 5 to 10 a year. Okay. Under Trump's first term, flights continued, though Trump often downplayed them publicly. Why does he do that? So annoying. Okay. My little ego just bounced out there. U.S. military still scrambled routinely under Trump's first term. Average a few incidents each year, but less political noise. Okay, so it was about the same. Under Biden, under Barack, it said 5 to 10 a year. This one said a few incidences each year, but less political noise. Okay. Under Biden, sharp uptick again. So it's interesting under the Democrats. Not that that's the Democrats' fault, but that's maybe Putin, challenging more when the Democrats are in power. Which is an interesting thought. 2021 to 22, NORAD tracked Russian flights almost monthly at times. Okay. The context, Russia's full-scale war in Ukraine, of course, because the Ukrainian war was going on, escalated global tensions. Okay. So Donald Trump, 2025 to present, which is about 9 months now, already 3 intercept in just 1 week, suggests Russia is testing boundaries early in Trump's new term. But if there's only been 3, let's just say we go to the end of the year and that's 3. So that's not anything unusual. 3 in 1 week seems a little unusual, but if we look back and look at, I mean, if that's the first one this year, and it is kind of interesting that it was after this meeting with Putin and Trump in Alaska. So that's kind of interesting. All right, let's just explore a little bit. Again, this is just speculation and entertainment, but possible games Putin could be playing with Trump. Just curious. Okay, testing Trump's loyalty versus U.S. defense. Putin may be watching closely to see how Trump frames these flights publicly. If Trump downplays them, it signals that his personal relationship, well, let's say it could signal, his personal relationship with Putin might outweigh America's need to show strength. That dynamic gives Putin leverage both at home and abroad. Psychological pressure on the Pentagon. Each time U.S. jets scramble, it costs fuel, resources, and creates tension inside the defense establishment. Putin knows U.S. generals are weary of Trump's ties to Moscow. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I hope that's actually true. I hope that's true. Now, this report is being pulled from facts that are being reported. So I hope that's actually true. Is that, and we can ask the SGs, is that Putin knows U.S. generals are weary of Trump's ties to Moscow. Because right now, I think some of us have questioned, like, what's going on with the generals? You know, what's happening with them? Especially as he's deploying, National Guard. Okay. Okay, so Putin knows U.S. generals are weary of Trump's ties to Moscow, so provoking these encounters could heighten distrust between the White House and the Pentagon. So playing some games. It's less about the planes themselves and more about rattling nerves. Creating division in the U.S. By sending spy planes near Alaska, Russia forces Americans into debate. Is this routine or a threat? Is Trump weak or strong? That division is valuable to Putin because a divided America is less effective at uniting against him internationally. The perception game can be just as powerful as the military one. Arctic power play. The Arctic is becoming one of the world's most contested regions, rich in oil, gas, and new shipping routes as ice melts. Because I've never seen this issue connected. Okay, isn't that interesting, you guys? Let's read that again in terms of environmental climate change, okay? The Arctic is becoming one of the world's most contested regions, rich in oil, gas, and new shipping routes as the ice melts. Anybody else just get some major aha perspective? Wow. By showing up near Alaska, Putin is signaling that Russia sees itself as the dominant Arctic power. It's a reminder to Trump and to NATO that Moscow isn't backing down from staking its claim. So, I don't know. That whole thing, that last sentence, I'm just kind of stuck on it. All right. Now, I mean, because it's like, all these years you go, why are they denying climate change? Why are they denying it? And of course, you have to follow the money, you have to follow the money. Of course it is. At some point, humans in power and leaders are going to have to prioritize things outside of money and resources. They're just going to have, they're just going to have to. Fingers crossed. Okay, bargaining chip. These flights may be less about Alaska itself and more about Russia, what Russia wants elsewhere. By raising tension at America's doorstep, Putin could be nudging Trump towards concessions or sanctions, NATO's support for Ukraine, or recognizing Russia's dominance in the Arctic. In other words, the flights become poker chips on the global negotiation table. Okay, so one rumor we're going to dispel. Trump Trump may secretly allow Putin's flights as part of a hidden deal. So that's a rumor that's out there. Okay. NORAD still responds with full force, meaning U.S. military defenses remain intact. Okay. So regardless of what Trump thinks he's doing. Okay, so let's ask the LTC what's going on. What's going on? All right. So I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, so it is only of the highest, and our community, so it is only of the highest and purest light. Amen. Hey, lead team, how's it going? Thank you for all your kindness, love, and support and guidance. We really appreciate it. Everybody, if you could give them a little shout out, that'd be amazing. And if you want to ensure that your spirit team's a part of the lead team collective, just give them permission to be a part of it. My understanding is some are doing it and some aren't, and whether you have to kind of ask for permission, and some are just joining, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm putting together. Okay, all right. Is that true, you guys? Lead team? Yes, okay. So some people here, their spirit guides, their spirit teams, need to be given permission by the human to be a part of the lead team. Is that true? Yes. But there are some spirit teams that are just a part of the lead team regardless? Huh. Yes. I wonder, again, it might have to do with soul contracts and, I don't know. It's, I have no idea. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? I find that fascinating. Okay. All right. So ready for the questions? All right. I always like to ask the lead team, is there anything in front of me, any of the questions in front of me, not in our best interest to know about? No? Okay. So you're comfortable, lead team, for us to get this information from you? Obviously. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's get started. So we've got a section on skepticism, deeper truth, and then spiritual awareness. Okay. All right. Is Russia deliberately testing U.S. radar response times? Oh, yeah, really wide swing. Are these flights routine intelligence collection missions and nothing more? No. Let me break that down. Are these flights routine intelligence collection missions? Yes. Is there anything beyond that as well, though? Is there more going on? Yes. Okay. Are the things going on kind of like the list that we just read about how he's kind of playing with Trump? Yes. Okay. Has the frequency of Russian flights increased under Trump's new term compared to Biden's? No. Okay. So there's not an increase so far. Is Putin using these flights to see how Trump personally reacts? Yes. God, these guys. Don't you just... Oh my God. The 3D is just so redonkulous. Is it not? I mean, I just want to I swear, like I said this in the last video, I just want to get both of them. Now I want to get both of them and just smack them upside the side. Just smack them. Come on. There's so many more important things to be doing. Just so dumb. It's so dumb. And the more I move into the 5D, just psychologically, and my energy's moving there, the more dumb it looks. It's just, I know I shouldn't be laughing about it. It's just ridiculous. And some of you are probably going to be like, what is wrong with Karen? But I think as I'm going to be shifting to the 5D, I know that for sure. And it's like you look back and you're just like, is this even, this isn't even real, is it? It's, I don't know. I don't know. It's just really interesting. Okay. These are supposedly mature adults. They're supposed to be mature adults, age-wise, right? Yeah. They're like, no, not mature adults. No, we know that, but oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Does Trump downplay these events to protect his relationship with Putin? Yes. Well, does Trump downplay these events to protect his own ego? That's probably more like it. Yes. Okay. Could ignoring these flights weaken U.S. deterrence? Yes. Okay. So, but we're not ignoring them. I mean, our military is our military ignoring these flights? No. Okay. Is Trump ignoring them behind the scenes? No. Okay. So regardless of what he says to out front, that is not, is he doing something different behind the scenes? Yes. Okay. Is Alaska more vulnerable now than it was 5 years ago? No. Okay. Okay. Do Russian flights near Alaska have hidden goals beyond reconnaissance? Yes. And again, it probably has to do with all that, the mind games. It's the mind games, right? Is the U.S. military concerned that Trump might interfere in how they respond? Yes. Okay. Do you foresee Trump being able to interfere with how the military is able to respond in the future? No. Okay. Is this a way for Putin to distract Americans from other Russian activities globally? Yes. Okay. Is that working? Is the distraction working? No. Okay, good. Are the flights a signal that Russia wants dominance in the Arctic? Yes. Is Putin showing Trump that he holds leverage over him? Oh, yes. Interesting. Do these actions test not just American defenses, but its political unity? Yes. Well, are we passing the test? Is America defenses passing that test? Yes. Okay. Is Putin attempting to create division inside the U.S. between conservatives and liberals? Yes. Has Putin been a part of doing that all along, creating the division? Yes. So you guys, we got to stop playing that game. We're just little puppets, his little puppets. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Does Russia expect Trump to eventually give concessions in NATO? Yes. Okay. Well, will Trump do it? No. Okay. All right. Are these flights a symbolic reminder that Russia can reach U.S. territory at will? Yes. Does Putin see Alaska as psychologically powerful? Does Putin see Alaska as psychologically powerful, reminding Americans it was once Russian land? Yes. Was it in fact once Russian land? Yes. Okay. Would the flights increase if Trump appears weaker in handling Putin? Yes. All right. Is this part of Russia's long-term military doctrine to pressure the U.S. Arctic front? Yes. Is Trump aware of the deeper game being played, or is he aware of the deeper game being played? No. Or is he being manipulated? Yes. But are people around him, at least the ones are the people he's actually listening to, are they aware of the deeper game being played? Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, two of them just are, like do what I do, just podcast hosts. I mean, I'm a podcast person. I mean, maybe the next president should elect me to be on their cabinet because I'm just so skilled. I'd be so skilled at running America and different, because that's who's running our defense and our, whatever. People who run a podcast. Oh my gosh. You cannot make this up. You just can't. Okay. I mean, I don't understand how anybody like who supports Trump could be like, oh, Cattell or what was his name? I don't even know their names. I mean, I do, but not off the top of my head right now. Patel? Cash Patel. Is that his name? Anyways, I mean, really, like how? Why would you think even that just that decision alone would make me question anybody in as a leader of our country? Just that decision alone, not the million other things that he's done, you know? Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, again, any president. If this was a Democratic president doing this, I'd be having the same conversations. Okay, so all right. Let's move into some spiritual questions. Is there karmic energy being played out between Trump and Putin? Yes. Okay, so we have to remember that. We do have to remember the bigger picture. And for whatever reason, there is some karma balancing going on. Okay. And these are things we may not understand and don't really need to. We just got to work on our own karmic balancing in our own lives, you know? They're saying yes. Do these encounters reflect the collective's fear of invasion and loss of sovereignty? Interesting. Yes. So there is some reflection here, you guys, some energy that we're sending for fear of invasion, maybe not even just by Putin, but by, other people, and loss of sovereignty. Could this be a mirror for America's spiritual test? Do we stand strong or look away? Yes. Is Alaska holding ancient spiritual energy that both nations are unconsciously drawn to? Wow, that's a cool question. Yes. Okay. Those kind of questions just make me so happy. Just understanding that, Alaska is holding ancient spiritual energy that both nations are unconsciously drawn to. They're just saying, yep. Okay. Do these flights awaken old wounds of Cold War fear within the America psyche? Yes. Yes, that makes so much sense. Are angels watching over the Alaskan skies during these tense encounters? Yes. In the deeper invitation here, is the deeper invitation here about learning discernment between truth and manipulation? Yes. Could this drama push Americans into greater spiritual awakening about global power games? I think these are kind of obvious questions, or obvious answers. Yes, but I appreciate them so much because there's something about like my feelings I was having earlier when you see my reactions to things. And then when we close out with this, all of a sudden I don't know how you guys feel, but I just feel it lifting when we're reminded about the ancient spiritual energy and the angels watching over. There's just something about that's one of the reasons why I always want to close these conversations that are a little tricky. They're a little tricky. There's some fear base around it, that the spiritual perspective, hopefully that's really where I always want us to go anyways. And that hopefully you do feel that, because I could feel it all. I could just feel it myself. I can just really feel that sarcastic, irritated energy that I was having when I was reading these facts kind of peel away from me. So I hope you're feeling that too. Hopefully people stay until the end, because otherwise they're leaving with that feeling. That kind of stinks. Okay, so could this drama push Americans? Okay, we already did that one. Does Putin's strategy ultimately fail? Does it ultimately fail, his strategy, like showing dominance in the Arctic? Yes. Okay. Is it failing because higher energies will not allow it to happen? Yes. So basically the light is brighter than the dark, or the light is shining on the dark? Yes. Okay, good. Is this situation a reminder that even military standoffs carries spiritual lessons for humanity. Yes, that's awesome. All right, you guys, let me know if you have anything to add to this conversation. And I look forward to reading your comments. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.